Okay, get this. Spoiler alert, everybody. We're diving deep into plot twists today on the All Sorts podcast.
Ooh, plot twists.
Yeah. Ever wonder why those crazy turns in a story, they like totally grab us? Or like how knowing a spoiler, like what's going to happen, might actually make you enjoy the story even more.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like counterintuitive.
Totally. Well,
Yeah.
we've got a whole stack of articles from places like The Conversation, Salon, even Wikipedia
Nice.
to, unpack all of that.
It's funny, like we try so hard to avoid spoilers,
Right.
but there's actually a bunch of research now that says knowing might not ruin everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So learners, listen up. Whether you're a writer or a total film buff or just like fascinated by how our brains work,
Right.
this deep dive is for you.
One of the things I find super interesting about plot twists is how they play with what we already know.
Okay.
Have you heard of the curse of knowledge?
Maybe. Remind me.
So, like, once you know something, it's almost impossible to go back and experience it fresh,
Oh, right.
Like trying to unsee a magic trick.
Yeah. Like I can't watch The Sixth Sense and be surprised anymore.
Exactly. And it makes it hard to, like, grasp how surprising a twist would be to someone who doesn't know.
Makes sense.
Think about Infinity War, for example.
Okay.
If you know Thanos wins,
Yeah.
it changes how you see the whole movie.
Right. Instead of worrying about who's going to win, you're more focused on how everyone's feeling.
Exactly. And that's what clever writers, they use this.
Ooh, sneaky.
They use misdirection and red herrings, kind of like a magician,
Oh, yeah.
They're distracting you with one hand while they're doing the real work with the other. Script Lab, they actually call it using the curse of knowledge against viewers.
Ooh.
Like with Darth Vader's line.
Luke, I am your father.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We all assumed Luke knew his father was dead, right?
Yeah.
Just like we did.
Oh, so the writer used what we thought we knew to make it even more shocking.
Boom. Exactly.
Wow.
Another theory that comes into play here is EVT.
EVT.
Expectation violation theory.
Okay.
Basically, we have expectations based on what we've experienced, right?
Yeah.
And when a writer can skillfully violate those expectations, boom, it grabs our attention.
Makes sense.
It's like, why twist the kind of flip genre cliches on their head? Those work so well.
Yeah. You think you know what's coming, and then...
Damn, rug pulled out.
Totally.
Yeah.
I read spoilers for Infinity War before I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, and the emotions, they were still huge.
Interesting.
My brain knew what was going to happen, but my heart, hadn't caught up yet.
That's actually really fascinating, and it lines up with some research from UC San Diego. They found that knowing the ending, it doesn't always ruin it.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes it actually makes it better.
Wow.
Maybe knowing let you appreciate how the story was told, more deeply.
That's a good point. I was totally aware of the foreshadowing, those little hints they dropped throughout.
Right.
It made it even more heartbreaking.
There's another concept here. It's called anchoring.
Anchoring.
It's like this bias where the first piece of info we get about something really influences how we judge it later.
So, early info anchors our thinking, and then some outcomes seem more likely.
Exactly. And it's not just in stories either.
Oh, really?
There was a study, they found that judges, they gave harsher sentences.
Wow.
If they'd seen a higher random number beforehand.
What? So, a dice roll could influence a legal decision?
It's crazy, right? But in storytelling, it makes total sense.
Right. A writer can kind of, subtly anchor us to certain ideas, and then, boom, mind-blowing twist.
Exactly. And they do this a lot through misdirection. It's all about shifting our attention away from the real twist.
Like in those classic mystery novels, right? You get all these fake clues.
Red herrings.
Right. Leading you down the wrong path.
Yeah. In Study Smarter, they point out how misdirection plays on our biases. We tend to trust authority figures or believe the first explanation we hear.
Right.
Writers use that against us.
It's like they're using our own brains to trick us.
Pretty much.
But isn't that part of what makes plot twists so fun? They make us rethink what we thought we knew.
Absolutely. And this brings us back to spoilers. If you know the twist is coming, you can actually appreciate the writer's craft even more. You see all the clues, the foreshadowing.
It's like you're in on the magician's secret.
Exactly. But of course, there's something to be said for, experiencing a twist for the first time. That shock, that sudden shift. It's
like a roller coaster suddenly dropping.
Perfect analogy.
But even if you know the drop's coming, you can still admire how the ride was designed,
Right. So we've established that plot twists play with our minds, use our biases, and can be enjoyable even with spoilers.
Right.
But aren't there, like, different types of twists? Some focus on the characters, others, like, change the whole story?
Yeah. What are some of those?
Well, Wikipedia outlines a few. One is anagnorisis, which basically means recognition or discovery.
Okay.
Think of Oedipus Rex.
He's
trying to solve this murder, right?
Yeah.
And then he finds out he's the killer.
Oh, yeah.
He killed his dad and then married his mom.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate example of anagnorisis.
Wow.
The hero realizes who they truly are.
Intense.
Then there's the flashback twist.
Okay.
New info from the past changes how we see the present.
Ooh, I love those.
Okay.
It's like secret glimpses into why a character is the way they are.
Right. Hitchcock, he was a master of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his film Marnie, it uses flashbacks to reveal this traumatic event, explains why the main character has all this anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the unreliable narrator twist.
Oh, yeah.
The person telling the story, they've been lying to us the whole time.
It's like a total mind game.
Agatha Christie, she loved this one.
I bet.
In The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Yeah.
The narrator, he's the killer.
Oh, wow. Okay, I gotta read that one.
It flips everything on its head.
So we've got anagnorisis, flashbacks, and unreliable narrators. Anything else?
Well, there's peripetia, which means like a reversal of fortune.
Okay.
It's a sudden change for a character, often for the worse.
Oh, those can be so sad. Like when they lose everything they worked for.
Exactly. A classic example is Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Yeah, he gets murdered by his wife when he comes home from war.
Rough.
Talk about a bad homecoming.
Yikes. But those reversals, they can also be positive, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like a character unexpectedly finding love or winning the lottery.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is these techniques, they aren't just for books and movies.
Oh, really?
You see them in TV shows, video games, even real life.
Yeah.
Like think about political scandals
Mm-hmm.
or scientific discoveries. They can have these plot twist elements that grab us.
I guess it's like our brains are hardwired to crave surprise, huh?
It seems so.
Whether it's in a story or real life. Precisely. And that's why plot twists are such a powerful tool for storytellers.
My brain is like buzzing with all this plot twist knowledge.
I know what you mean. It's like we've cracked some secret code to storytelling.
Who knows what other plot twists are out there waiting to be discovered?
Well, on that note, I think we should probably wrap up part 1 of this deep dive.
Don't worry, everyone. We'll be back in part 2 to keep unraveling these mysteries.
Back again for more plot twist action.
We're really getting into how these unexpected turns can, like, mess with our minds.
In a good way, of course.
Right, in a good way.
And we found all these tools writers use.
Yeah.
Cognitive biases, storytelling tricks.
Yeah.
To keep us guessing.
Right on the edge of our seats.
Before we took a little break, remember we were talking about how different kinds of plot twists can totally change a story?
Yeah.
We talked about some big ones.
Right.
Anagnorisis, those flashbacks.
Uh-huh.
Unreliable narrators.
Those are good.
Peripetia, even.
Yeah. But there's another category, I think,
yeah.
that we need to talk about.
Right.
And it kind of gets a bad rap sometimes.
Interesting.
So what kind of twist are we talking about?
The Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that when something totally random just happens
Yeah.
to save the day?
Like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay.
It actually means God from the machine. And it comes from way back. Ancient Greek theater.
Oh, wow.
Imagine a play,
Yeah.
the hero, they're doomed, and suddenly
Yeah.
a god,
Literally.
like descends from the heavens on this crane,
A crane.
a literal machine,
Whoa.
to rescue them.
Okay, yeah. I can see how that might feel.
Contrived.
Yeah, like the writer just couldn't figure it out.
Exactly.
You take a shortcut.
Yeah. So Deus Ex Machina, it often gets seen as like lazy writing,
Yeah.
right? Like a cop-out.
Totally.
But it can be a powerful tool, if it's used well.
Really? Okay, I'm curious. How?
Well, sometimes a Deus Ex Machina, it introduces something totally new.
Okay.
Like a new element, a new conflict
Right.
that changes the game completely.
Gotcha.
Might not be an actual god,
Yeah.
but it could be, I don't know, like a sudden discovery,
Oh, yeah.
a natural disaster, something like that.
Yeah.
Throws everything into chaos.
Okay, so it's not so much a magical solution,
Right.
but more like shaking things up,
Yeah.
but in a way that makes sense.
In a way that feels natural, yeah.
Okay, I get it.
And sometimes it can even be like funny
Oh,
a deus ex machina
yeah.
to highlight how absurd something is.
Oh, right.
Or poke fun at, like, storytelling itself.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a character, right,
Yeah.
about to give this super dramatic speech,
Oh.
and then, boom, a piano falls out of the sky,
Oh, yeah.
crushes them.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah, and absurd.
Undercuts the whole serious vibe.
I love it.
See? So deus ex machina,
Yeah.
not always a bad thing.
Not always a bad thing. Okay, I got it. But I think it's time to talk about the big one,
Let's do it.
the elephant in the room. Spoilers.
Okay, we've touched on it
Yeah.
throughout this whole deep dive, but
Yeah.
it's worth, really digging into the psychology of spoiler.
My spoiler-sensitive brain is ready.
All right.
Ready with it.
As we said, research shows spoilers, they don't always ruin the experience.
Right.
They can actually sometimes make things more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You can focus on other stuff,
Yeah.
like character development, the writing, the themes, all that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like if you're going on a road trip,
Hey.
right? Knowing where you're going
Yeah.
doesn't make the trip any less fun.
Right.
You might even, notice the scenery more
Yeah.
because you're not stressed about getting lost.
Exactly. And some people, they even find that knowing ahead of time makes it less stressful overall. You can relax, enjoy the details, no fear of being, blindsided.
Right? Like if you're watching a horror movie, knowing the killer
Yeah.
might make it less scary, but then you can focus on, how they build the suspense.
Exactly.
The foreshadowing.
More about the art of it
Yeah, totally.
than the jump scares.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But I do want to say, not everyone feels this way.
Oh, for sure.
Right? For a lot of people, the thrill of not knowing,
Yeah.
that's a big part of the fun.
Absolutely. For some people, being surprised is the whole point. Opening a present,
Yeah, the mystery.
you want to be surprised by what's inside.
Exactly.
So we got to respect that.
Right. And not ruin it for others.
Spoiler etiquette.
Yes.
And remember, what's a big spoiler for one person
Yeah.
might be nothing to someone else.
Total.
Some people, they might be okay knowing the general idea.
Right. But not specifics.
Exactly. But others
Yeah.
might want to know all the twists and turns, but still experience it for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
Respecting boundaries, but not letting this fear of spoilers, shut down the whole conversation.
Right.
So spoiler etiquette matters.
Definitely.
Everyone has different tolerances.
Totally.
But how does this actually play out?
Oh, yeah, good point.
In real life,
Yeah.
talking about movies with friends.
Yeah, reading reviews online.
Oh, it can be tricky.
Yeah.
Like navigating a minefield.
Right.
But there are things we can do.
Like what?
Oh, ask before you reveal something.
Okay.
Use those spoiler warnings online.
Yeah, good point.
And when in doubt, be cautious.
Better safe than sorry.
A little spoiler sensitivity goes a long way.
Totally. But now let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
Talk bigger picture.
Yeah.
Why are these plot twists, so important to stories?
It's a good question.
What makes them so compelling?
It's got to be more than just the shock value, right?
Right.
It goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Plot twists, they tap into something fundamental about being human.
Okay, like what?
Well, for one, how unpredictable life can be.
Oh, yeah.
Things don't always go as planned.
Never do.
We're always facing these unexpected turns.
It's true. Life is full of plot twists.
It really is. And plot twists in stories, they help us deal with that. Make sense of those real-life surprises.
Okay, so stories can prepare us.
Yeah, for the unexpected.
Yeah.
They can also make us more resilient, adaptable.
Right. Knowing that even when things go wrong,
Yeah,
there might be something good hidden there.
a silver lining, exactly.
I like that.
And plot twists, they also tap into this desire we have
For what?
for meaning,
Yeah.
understanding.
I agree.
We're drawn to stories that help us make sense of the world,
Yeah, connect the dots.
See the patterns?
Yeah, it's like we're all detectives
In a way,
trying to solve the mystery.
a well-crafted plot twist
Yeah.
can be so satisfying.
It's true.
That aha moment.
Everything clicks into place.
Yeah, and it can make us question our own assumptions, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe we weren't seeing the whole picture.
Right.
Or maybe our own biases blinded us.
Mm.
They can really challenge how we see things,
Yeah.
broaden our understanding.
Wow, okay, we've covered so much.
We have.
Cognitive biases, spoiler etiquette, even the deeper meaning of plot twists.
Yeah.
My brain feels officially twisted.
I know what you mean. It's been quite a journey.
It has.
But before we wrap up part 2,
Yeah.
I want to go back to that idea,
Which one?
that plot twists are like magic tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good analogy.
I love that.
A magician, they use sleight of hand, misdirection.
Uh-huh.
Writers, they use all these techniques
Yeah.
to like play with our expectations,
Right.
deliver those mind-blowing surprises.
Yeah, it's like they're messing with how we see things.
Yeah.
Bending reality to their will.
Exactly. And this is what makes them so enjoyable,
Right.
They tap into this primal desire, surprise, this need for meaning, and our fascination with the unexpected.
Yeah, it's like they remind us that even when the world feels predictable,
Yeah.
there's always a chance for something amazing to happen.
Exactly. And on that note, I think it's time for a quick break.
Don't worry, everyone. We'll be right back to finish up our deep dive into plot twists with part 3. And we're back, ready for the final act of our plot twist marathon.
Our brains are like fully prepped for more twists. We've covered so much ground already, all those biases, types of twists, spoiler etiquette, phew.
Yeah, my brain is like pretzel right now. All twisted up. But before we get to our own twist ending, I think we got to remember that not all plot twists are made the same.
Right, some are genius, some, not so much.
Yeah, some you see coming a mile away and some just fall flat. So, like, what makes a good plot twist really good?
Well, one thing is believability, for sure.
Oh, you mean it can't be just a random shock? It has to actually fit the story.
Exactly. If a twist feels like too fake or out of nowhere, it actually hurts the story. Feels cheap,
Oh, yeah, I've totally seen movies where the twist was so wild, I was like, wait, what? I just couldn't believe it took me right out of it.
That's why a good twist, it walks this line between foreshadowing and misdirection. The writer's got to give you enough clues to make it make sense, but still keep you guessing.
Oh, right, it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Like, reveal too much, it's obvious. Reveal too little, it's just random.
Right, and then there's the emotional impact. A great twist hits you in the feels,
Oh, yeah, it's not just a puzzle to figure out. It's about how it makes you feel.
Exactly. A twist that gets you emotionally, that sticks with you long after the story's over.
Powerful stuff. So believability and emotional impact, those are key. Are there, like, any specific techniques writers use to really make those twists land?
Oh, for sure. One that's super effective is the reveal. That's where hidden info is suddenly, boom, dropped on you, and you see the whole story differently.
Oh, like the classic, everything you thought was true is a lie moment.
Exactly. And that can happen in so many ways. A character confesses something, a flashback shows you a hidden truth. Even just one line of dialogue can reframe everything.
Yeah, those are crazy, where just a few words can turn your world upside down.
It's like a word bomb. Blows up everything you thought you knew.
So we've got the reveal. What else?
Another one is the red herring. Remember we talked about that?
Oh, yeah. The writer tricks you on purpose.
Exactly. Makes you expect one thing, but secretly they're setting up something else entirely.
Like they're leaving fake clues, sending you down the wrong path.
Right. So then when the real twist comes, it's even more surprising because you were focused on the wrong thing the whole time.
Sneaky, sneaky writers.
Yes.
What other tricks do they have up their sleeves?
Well, there's the cliffhanger. Ends the story at a super tense moment, leaves you dying to know what happens next.
Oh, cliffhangers. The best and the worst. Depends how much you like waiting, I guess.
Yeah, if it's done well, a cliffhanger has you on the edge of your seat, desperate for more.
Total. Keeps you hooked, whether it's for the next episode, next chapter, sequel, whatever.
It's the ultimate plot twist tease.
So, reveals, red herrings, cliffhangers, all powerful tools in the writer's arsenal.
They really are. And when used skillfully, they can take a good story and make it unforgettable.
It's amazing how much goes into making a good plot twist,
It's a real art. It's not just about the surprise. You got to understand human psychology, how stories are built, all of that.
It's like we've unlocked a secret level of understanding about plot twists now.
Exactly. And speaking of twists and turns, as we reach the end of our own little adventure here, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Oh, lay it on me. What is it?
The next time you run into a plot twist, whether it's in a book, a movie, your own life, whatever,
Yeah.
take a second to really appreciate the power of that unexpected moment. Savor the surprise. Ask yourself if you had it all wrong. Embrace the possibility that things aren't what they seem.
Ooh, deep.
Because those moments, the unexpected discoveries, the twists and turns, that's what makes life and storytelling so exciting.
That's a beautiful thought. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the science of plot twists.
We hope you enjoyed the journey. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the All Sorts podcast on YouTube.
And if you haven't already, Check out some of our other awesome deep dives. We've got a ton of fascinating topics just waiting for you. Who knows, you might find a new favorite.
And don't forget to follow us on X, Instagram, and Threads. We're always sharing cool stuff and giving you a peek behind the scenes of the podcast.
Until next time, keep those plot twists coming and never stop exploring the world with a curious mind.
And if you ever feel lost in the sea of information out there, just remember, the All Sorts podcast is here to guide you on your next journey of discovery.